Hello everybody, Gabby Turner here. In this reading, we're going to be asking what would happen if you reached out and what's going to happen if you just continue to give them space. So those are the two questions that we're going to be looking into in each of these three reading options. And then at the end of the reading, we're just going to ask Spirit, what do each of you need to know? Just a little additional message from Spirit at the end. So we've got three reading options here. You can go ahead and tune into your intuition once you've made your choice. Go ahead and use the timestamps in the description box below, and I'll see you at your reading. Hello to everybody who chose option number 1. I put your fortune cookie there, so don't forget it at the end. So we're going to be looking at how are you going to feel about their response if you do reach out to them, and then what will their response be? And then we're going to look at how are you going to feel about what happens if you just continue to give them space, and then what actions would they actually be doing towards you if you continue to give them space. So we'll look at each option one at a time. So first, how are you going to feel about their response if you do reach out? And what will their reaction be if you reach out? I'm going to use one card from this deck and then one card from this deck. I had someone get this question about their love interest in a personal reading, and I thought it was a great topic. I'm sure a lot of people would like to know this as well. Okay, so how are my number 1 folks going to feel about their person's reaction if you do reach out? If you do reach out to them and initiate some sort of contact, how are you going to feel about their response? Okay, we have conclusion, and then we have 5 of discs reversed. It kind of feels like you're going to be getting some sort of closure here. It doesn't feel like it's a closure like a happily ever after. It more feels like you've decided to stop putting effort into this. So what is their reaction going to be? We have Fall and then Prince of Wands reversed. I feel like they're not going to respond. And that lack of a response is going to make you feel like, okay, there's just nothing more that I can do here. And the fall or autumn is, again, it's like a dying away of, letting the leaves fall. It's a releasing period. So I think that it's kind of like a conclusion energy for both of you. This person is probably not going to respond because they're just feeling like, this is over. We need to let it go. I do feel like they still care about you for what it's worth. I was feeling that with the Prince of Wands, even though it's reversed. It's like they're just feeling like, two people can really care about each other and still not really know how to make it work in a more practical sense. They do still care about you. I will say that. Okay, so that's the outcome if you do reach out. So what about if you just don't reach out? Which I think a lot of you are probably going to choose to do after hearing that. So if you don't reach out and you just continue to give them space, how are you going to feel about the outcome of that? And what are they actually going to be doing if you just don't reach out? How do you feel about the outcome, and what are they actually going to do? So this is if you do not reach out at all. I feel like, so we have the 10 of Cups reversed and this offer reverse, which is almost like an Ace of Cups. It's like you feel good. It's like, because I kind of feel like even though things aren't progressing, I feel like that they do still care about you, and it feels better to know that. it's like, well, at least they do still care. I mean, it's not going anywhere, but I feel like they care, right? That seems to be your energy. And what are they going to do? We have the Sun reversed and we have pride and ego upright. So this is a lot of ego. I mean, this person will probably try to get your attention and try to strut around in some kind of way and get you to notice them. So if this is someone you come across in person, you know, they're going to be doing that in front of you, or it could be something they're doing on social media, or they're just trying to get your attention in some way. Whatever that happens to be, they're going to be doing it however they can. They want to look good to you. They want you to miss them, and they want you to notice them. But it's funny because we already saw that if you do notice them and reach out, they're going to not respond, you know. So what, I mean, this is one of those situations where it's like, what can you do about it? I mean, this person clearly is attracted to you, but their pride and their ego and maybe their vanity is getting in the way here. Oh, goodness. They really care about what you think about them. That is for sure. They are very invested in your opinions of them, and they are very flattered by you showing them any kind of attention. So they want you to. Trying to clarify what's going on your end. Yeah, it's like, I think if you don't reach out, it's like maybe you can accept the fact that it's not going anywhere and still just enjoy the fact that, well, at least I know that they do care, you know, because I feel like you can already kind of sense that. But if you reach out, like we said before, and you get that non-response, I feel like it really hurts and it stings in a kind of way where it just doesn't feel good, you know. So I think, I mean, I'm not telling you what to do, but I feel like you're going to feel better and happier about this if you don't reach out. But you do need to be in that Ace of Swords clarity mindset of understanding it's probably not going anywhere, but the two of you do both still care about each other, you know, and maybe it's just wise to let well enough alone and appreciate the fact that, you know, you both do appreciate each other. It's just, you know, sometimes things just don't work out. So let's see what your spirit guides have to say otherwise. OMG. Okay. All right. It is what you haven't done that will torment you. It is what you haven't done that will torment you. I feel like your spirit guides are going against what I just said. It is what you haven't done that will torment you. Okay. All right. So your spirit guides, let me just clarify. Are they talking about this connection, or are they talking about something else? Yeah. And this other deck was stuck in here somehow, and it says encouraged. So I actually think, despite the fact that the outcome of it might be more painful, I think your guides are saying that you should go ahead and reach out to them and get that conclusion. I feel like what they're kind of saying is that otherwise you might just continue to live in this sort of fantasy reality of thinking that eventually it's going to work out when it really isn't. You know, your spirit guides want you to, it's almost like they want you to rip off the Band-Aid. Go ahead and reach out to them. Say anything that you have left to say. This person's probably not going to respond, but at least you know you gave it your all, and it can allow you to get that closure better, rather than kind of clinging on with a sort of false hope. So, yeah, I mean, this is why I'm glad I asked your spirit guides at the end, because they can see the higher perspective. Like, I was just thinking, like, well, your emotional state's going to be better if you don't reach out. But, you know, sometimes a little bit of pain can be helpful if it can help us to sort of move on to a better situation. So I feel like that's what's going on here. So I hope that helped, guys. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you later. Bye-bye. Welcome to everybody who chose option number 2. Please stay to the end for your fortune cookie message, because in the first reading it ended up being super pertinent to the question at hand. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to first see what would happen if you do reach out. So I'm going to look at how would you feel about their response to you reaching out. And I'm going to ask, what is their response going to be if you reach out? And then we'll look at how are you going to feel about the outcome if you just don't reach out at all. But first, let's look at if you do reach out, how are you going to feel about their response, and what is their response going to be? I'm going to use this deck as well here. So we get one card from each. This was a question that was asked to me in a personal reading today, and I thought it was a really interesting question that other people might benefit from hearing. All right, so if you do reach out to them, how are you going to feel about their response? Okay, we have Awakening reversed and then the Magician. I feel like, I think you're going to want to keep communicating, because it's like, let me see what their response is. Okay, the response is Victim and Queen of Pentacles. I think they will respond if you reach out. And I think that's going to make you want to keep reaching out and keep reaching out, because you like the fact that when you do get some sort of response from them. But I'm not even sure, I have to be honest, I'm not even sure if you're really interested in this person or if you just think you are because you like getting a response from them. I just have to be honest about what I see here. This doesn't necessarily seem like a super healthy dynamic. I mean, this person definitely looks up to you, because I feel like they're seeing you as the Queen of Pentacles. So they see you as someone of importance, someone of status, someone who, like, it's favorable to be liked by you. They know that, but at the same time, it's like they feel, when you reach out to them, they feel almost like an obligation to respond, but there's a part of them that doesn't really want to. I kind of feel like both of you are behaving in a little bit of an unconscious manner, and I'm probably going to get some, some of you are not going to like to hear this, but this is what I'm picking up, because we have Awakening reversed. I feel like you're not really, and then the Magician can be a kind of manipulative card. I mean, we're all manipulative sometimes. I know that I am. It's just honest. Like, this is just human nature. People can be manipulative and not even recognize it because they're operating in an unconscious kind of manner. I think that you just want to keep getting a reaction from them because you know that you can, and you will. I mean, if you reach out, you will get a reaction from them. What's really going on here? What are your actual feelings for them is what I'm curious about. Like, what's motivating this? I mean, you do love them, so it's not like there's no love here. But I think mostly it's like you just want attention from them. And they are very attracted to you. But there's something that's unhealthy, I feel. What is this? It's the King of Swords. I feel like there are some sort of unhealthy dynamics between the two of you. I think you kind of both know how to manipulate each other. That's kind of what it is. Like, you both kind of know what to do to keep the other person attached. But that's just trying to keep someone attached to you. That isn't necessary. I think that both of you are not trusting that there is actual love here. And it's causing you to be kind of a little bit immature, I think. Okay, so that's what's going to happen if you do reach out to them. So let's see, what if you don't reach out and you just continue to give them space? What's going to happen then? How are you going to feel about their response, and what will they actually do if you don't reach out yourself? Oops. Okay. Well, this wants to go over first. Okay, so what are they going to do? We have Summer, and then we have King of Pentacles reversed. I don't necessarily see a lot of action here, but I do see planning. Like, I think in their head, they are planning some sort of, it could be an activity that they want to do with you, but it doesn't feel like they're making it a reality because we have King of Pentacles reversed. Let's see how you feel about, oh, numbing and the moon. Yeah. I don't think they're going to be taking action. If you don't reach out, I don't think that there's going to be action, but they will in their head be taking an action. It's like they're living in some sort of fantasy world where they're planning vacations with you or planning some sort of date with you, but it's like I don't feel like they're actually carrying it out. You know, even the woman on this card seems kind of sad. It's like there's some sort of planning going on. And this person may even convince themselves that they are going to carry out this plan, but I don't think that they will. It's like they keep putting it off and keep putting it off and not actually doing it. On your end, it's like it's causing you a lot of emotional pain, and I think you're going to be trying to distract yourself from the pain. So this seems a little bit like a lose-lose situation, because if you do reach out to them, you will get a reaction, but it feels sort of codependent or something. And if you don't, this person is happy enough to be frolicking off in their imagination, imagining all these great times that the two of you are going to have, but not actually making it a reality. And it's going to leave you feeling really hurt and scared. Scared that they don't really care about you. Let me see what your spirit guides have to say in the fortune cookie message here. Living with a commitment to excellence shall take you far. Living with a commitment to excellence shall take you far. I think that what they're saying is, like, if you want some sort of commitment with this person, or if you just want some real kind of romantic reality with this person, it's like you should want it to be excellent or just not at all. So like I said, if you do reach out, this person will respond, but it's not really an excellent energy to be in. Both of you would really have to commit yourselves to working through some kind of codependence issues. I think both of you, and I can relate to this. This is definitely not coming from a place of judgment here at all. Like, I feel like I relate very strongly to this reading, actually. But, like, there's some emotional issues that both of you kind of need to work through of, why do I want to be so attached rather than really allowing myself to feel actual love and an excellent commitment that is, mutually supportive and emotionally healthy. Let me just ask, if number 2 reaches out, what's the capacity of each of them right now to get to that place of, committed excellence? I think that you have what it takes with the 6 of Pentacles. You have a lot to offer in terms of really getting this to a healthier place, a healthier dynamic. But I feel like this person with the 7 of Cups reversed, they just get so caught up in some sort of fantasy world or like delusions. And again, we have a Pentacles court card reversed. It's like, but they can't, it's like they have this very idealized version of a love relationship with you in their head, but they don't know how to make it a reality, for one thing, because whatever that is that's going on in their head probably isn't couldn't be a reality for anyone. You know, they have some sort of fairy tale idea of what romantic love is, and they love, you know, living that out in their imagination. But they aren't taking any concrete steps to make it happen, and even if they did, they would be disappointed because it's never going to be that. It just isn't possible. You know, the happily ever after type thing just isn't possible. It's not realistic for things to be happy all the time. There's reality. I think you're willing to face the reality, or you're capable of facing the reality and working through, you know, actual relationship issues that arise. But this person isn't. So I think that, you know, I don't know what to say here. I mean, it's really up to you whether or not you reach out or not, but I think either way, you need to recognize some of these underlying dynamics that are going on here. Yeah. I mean, you need to, whatever your choice is, you really need to be making it with clarity. You need to have clarity about where this person is in their life and where you are at in your life, in your emotional space. Because, you know, if you don't reach out to them and then they don't, you know, make any steps towards you, you need to ask yourself, why is it putting you into this such a negative mind space where you're having to numb yourself out and distract yourself from these fears? I would say you need to face those fears. What are those emotions that this person is bringing out? I mean, they're triggering those emotions for a reason. And you do seem to have the capacity to work through things in a healthy way if you want to do that. So I think that's probably the wisest approach. Why would it make you feel so scared? And I feel like it almost like it makes you feel afraid that you're not worthy of love or something. So that might be something that you need to explore a little bit. I'm going to get a final message for you guys. Yeah, I mean, this person is running away from their own shadow. I don't think that they're in a place to be having a healthy relationship with anybody. They just are not in a frame of mind to be doing that. Their energy is too chaotic. Even if they did respond, which I think they would if you reach out first. But regardless, if they're in contact with you, it's not healthy. They are not healthy. And I think they're not in a place to really recognize how not healthy they are. All right. So sorry if it felt a little bit judgy at the beginning of the reading. I'm just channeling the message as I understand it. But in any case, guys, I really hope that was helpful. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you later. Bye-bye. Hello to everyone who chose option number 3. Please stick around to the end to get your fortune cookie message, because they've been very relevant to the reading at hand for all of the readings so far. So imagine the same will be true for you as well. Okay, so first what we're going to do is we're going to see how are you going to feel about their response if you do reach out, and then what would their response be? And we're going to be using 2 different decks here. This is the Santa Muerte deck, tarot deck. And this one is by Mystic Moon Oracles. Okay, so how are you going to feel about their response if you do reach out, and what would their response be to you if you did reach out? So how are you going to feel about their response? We get the Hierophant reversed and fear, and then what is their response? Free will reversed and Queen of Wands. I'm a little confused here. So, like, let's see, are they responding or not? Okay, I think that they will respond. If you reach out to them, they will respond. Let me try to read into this. Let me pause for a moment. I think that what's going on here is that this person will respond to you. They do really, really care about you. But I don't know, they have some sort of emotional hang up when it comes to you as well. So I almost feel like whatever response that they give you, if you reach out, is going to make you feel like, I'm not really sure this person's really that committed to this, or I don't really think that they're in it for anything serious. But I think that it's just coming from their fear. It might be difficult for you to understand it. Some of you might, like if you're super intuitive, you might feel like, okay, I think that they're coming across this way because they're having certain fears. For one thing, with the free will card reversed and then the Queen of Wands, I think that they see you as the Queen of Wands, and that's someone who's very charismatic and gets a lot of attention, someone who's very attractive. You know, people are probably trying to flirt with you and stuff, and at least, you know, that's how they see it, and they don't like the fact that you could act on that if you wanted to, you know, so maybe the two of you are not in a relationship, so you definitely have the freedom to, you know, choose free will. And if somebody else asks you out, you know, of course it's perfectly reasonable for you to accept or something like that. But it's like, they don't like that. I feel like they have an emotional hang up about the fact that you have some sort of free will. They see you as a very beautiful, wonderful human being. Yeah, but it's like their response is going to be very kind of like one note or something. Like they're not going to be showing a lot of their emotions to you in whatever their response is, because they're trying to protect their own emotions. And I mean, I think that you can sense that this isn't over, that there's more to this story here. I feel like you are pretty perceptive about all of this. I think you're already picking up on most of this, that they have a lot of fears. I think they have a fear of commitment, but they also have a fear of you not committing to them. It's like they want you to be totally committed to them and exclusive towards them, but they have a fear of being committed themselves. So it's like putting them in a really weird emotional energy. Yeah, but they will respond to you. They'll respond and the story will continue if you reach out. All right. So that's I mean, we're just asking that question here, so let's not get too super heavy into it. Now we want to ask, like, what if you don't reach out? What happens then? If you just continue to give them their space, what will they do? And how will you feel about it, about the outcome? How will you feel about the outcome if you just continue to not reach out? And then what are they actually going to be doing? Let me get cards from this deck as well. Okay, if pile 3 does not reach out, if they don't reach out. How are you going to feel about the outcome? I think you're going to be feeling good. Maybe good about this connection, but mostly just good about yourself. I feel like, you know, whether or not anything happens with this person or not, I feel a real confidence with you, and you've got other things to focus on. It's like you are really paving the way for yourself to achieve something that you're excited about. And what will they be doing? We have the Chariot reversed and Ascending reversed. I think that they probably will just be sitting around in their emotions, feeling all of these very, 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 very deep emotions. about you, but not acting on it. But it seems like you're okay with that for whatever reason. I feel maybe you just kind of want something new, you know. I don't think it's that you don't care about them. I mean, you would know more about that. You know, you already know how you feel about them. But with the Five of Wands, it's like you're kind of ready to let it go, you know. I think you kind of feel like maybe this has already served its purpose. You know, I think from their end, it is forcing them to face those fears of commitment and those other emotional hangups that we talked about. Like, you know, why are they so terrified of committing, but then at the same time they're terrified of you not committing? They have to face that emotionally because they can't avoid the emotions. I mean, the emotions are just there, and they're having to contend with that. And the Ascending card is reversed, but I do still feel like, you know, this situation is forcing this person to kind of level up and figure out why they have those hangups. So that's good. And on your end, it seems like it's inspired you to kind of do something new with your life. And it feels like a real revitalizing energy to you. So if you don't reach out to this person, you'll be just fine. If you do reach out, you know, things will be fine. But I think it's going to be, you know, that same dynamic of this person just really isn't ready to commit, but they have these, you know, fears about you not doing so. So in any case, let's see what your fortune cookie message is. What advice do your spirit guides have here for you? Mediocrity is self-inflicted. Genius is self-bestowed. Yeah. I think, yeah, I mean, I think this is a message for both of you. I think this person is scared of succeeding with this relationship. It's like, I feel like they know that if they really went for it, it would be successful. But sometimes even a good thing is terrifying because the better the relationship is, the more scary it would be to lose that. I feel like they've never had a relationship or the potential of a relationship as good as what they feel like this could be with you. And that's part of what where that fear is coming from. But if they want something wonderful, you know, they have to choose it. I think they're inflicting certain emotional pain on themselves, but that's just part of their process. And from your end of it, with the whole reinvention and the Page of Wands, which is very exciting, you know, you're creating something new or recreating yourself or both. And it's like you're choosing to rise up separately from anything related to a relationship or romance. I feel like you're just choosing to be your best self and to rise up into your best possible energy and kind of make the most of life. And I feel like your spirit guides are just really congratulating you for that. Let me pull one final tarot card here. Yeah, we have the King of Cups. I feel like this is love. I do feel like this is true love that the two of you have for each other. And that love really has brought something significant and wonderful to both of you. Both of you have been very positively impacted by this, you know. And that's really, I think that you'll always cherish this connection for that reason. But it seems like you're okay without it. And that's a great energy to be in because you are okay without it. You don't need a relationship with this person in order to, you know, be alive and happy and like full of life, which it seems absolutely is where your energy is. All right. And or where it's headed. So that sounds fantastic. So guys, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it and I'll see you around. Bye-bye.